So again, the first problem is you don't know what the genius is, and the second is you found out. Uh, so you find out what your gifts are, and you go to give your gifts. Remember, there's wounds. Everybody's wounded. Uh, the giving of the gifts of the self. Well, first of all, when you give from the genius, it never runs out. Giving brings more of it up, but giving can also bring up the ego fears and the wounds. And so here's the way it's coming to mind. Uh, you say there's two reasons, or two big reasons, why three. Now it became three. Why people don't give their genius gifts. One is they haven't awakened yet, and they don't know what they are, and their soul is still occluded with the waters of oblivion. That's one. That's in the story. Another one is, oh, I found the gift, but it stirs the wound, and I can't tolerate. I think I can't tolerate the wound. I can't take it, so I'm not going to try to give the gift. Some people go out and give what they have to give, and feel so vulnerable, and the wound is so deep that they can't recover, and they retreat from giving the gift. But another thing that can happen is a person gives their gifts, which is the most natural thing to do, but other people envy them. And if a person, when they were a child, were envied by their parents, which, by the way, is very common, right? Children come in and initially they do whatever they want. They poop when they want, they pee when they want, they laugh, they cry, and the adults can't do that. The adults have jobs and social responsibilities and pretty narrow egos, and so the adults aren't getting to do all those, spontaneous things. And so the adults start to shut down the spontaneity of their own children. But if the parents have not lived out their gifts and they see a child expressing gifts, one's own parents can be envious of their own children's gifts. If that's the case, then I'm like an adult, or try to be one, and I found my gift and I go to give it, but I'm afraid everybody's going to be envious of me. I can pull back. And by the way, if you give your gifts, people will be envious, and the ones who will be envious are the ones who are not given their gifts. And sometimes those are the teachers in school, and that's a real shame, because teachers are supposed to help each student bring out their gifts. And then there's one other thing that can happen. And this happens, and you see it with celebrities and stars. Notice when someone gives their gifts and they have a big talent, or a talent they give in a big way, they become a star. We call them a star. But notice how when someone rises too quickly as a star, usually they then fall. And they fall because a couple of things happen. Their wounds intensify all of a sudden. The shadows that come with the bright lights can be clutching at them. But also, a person can go a little crazy. And so, because the genius is not human, and it drives a person, and it wants to give and create constantly. And so, so another thing that can inhibit the giving of the genius gifts is the fear that I'm going to lose my mind. And the truth is, that's the ego's fear, by the way. The ego has been mentioned a lot tonight. The ego is very fearful. And so anyway, a person has to develop a character that is unique, because that's the essence of the whole soul, but that is able to carry and the genius, and able to modify it, or a person has to be able to step away from it as well. When someone goes off stage, they have to have an off stage persona to go to, an off stage sense of self. So again, the first problem is you can't get center stage in your own life because you can't figure out yet how to do it. That's the first problem. Then you get the genius that puts you closer to center stage. And now you have the problem is, how do you get out from the bright lights, and how do you get away from center stage when you just have to be a regular human looking for something to eat and a friend to talk to? And so that's about character. And I want to repeat the idea. It's not developing character as a moral kind of effort. It's actually becoming the inner character, the central character in our own story. the protagonist of the story trying to unfold from within us, which I'm saying for this occasion and for this period of time, the story trying to unfold is the genius story with its path towards destiny, with its great capacity to give its gifts naturally, and with the result that giving naturally from the gifted sense of self is beneficial to other people nearby and is beneficial to the world in some way, because there is a genius, there's a healing quality which comes with the beauty and the inventive, creative capacity of one's gifts.